Let's solve today's POTD 1344 angle between hands of a clock. We will be given the hour and minutes of a clock. We need to return the smaller angle formed between the hour hand and the minute hand. So when I say 12:30, my hour hand will be pointing here and my minute hand will be pointing here. So this angle needs to be returned and the larger angle needs to be discarded. When I say 3:30, my hour hand will be here and my minute hand will be here. So how will we solve this problem? First thing is, when I say that my hour is 3, it doesn't mean that my hour hand will guarantee, there is no guarantee that my hour hand will be pointing at 3 exactly. It may point, but it may also point a bit ahead because it depends on how much minute hand has moved from the 0 mark. So when I say 3:30, so 30, my minute hand has moved 30 at 30th position. So 30th position means the 6 hour position, this one. So 30th is 50% of 60, right? Half. So it means that my hour hand must have moved 50% of this length, this arc length, from the third hour hand or 15 hour hand. Now one more thing, when we should not deal with hour and minute, we should either deal with minute or hour. So we need to convert this hour into minute. Now how can we do that? And basically, why do we need to do it? We need to do it because the gap between 30th minute hand and the 15 minute hand is 15. 30 minus 15, which is a 15-minute gap. It represents 90 degrees. Any 15-minute gap in a clock represents 90 degrees. So a 1 minute gap represents 90 by 15 degrees. So we need everything to be in minutes in order to use this unitary method logic. So our hour is given as x, let's say. So our hour to minute will be some y plus minute by 60 into 5. Now what is this y? This y is basically, if our x is 12, then y is 0. I will explain it what I am writing. If x is 1, then y is 5. If x is 2, then y is 10. If x is 3, then y is 15. So on. X is 11, y is 55. So basically, this x is our hour of the clock. Now when it is at 12, what is the minute value? When my hand is at 12, it is at 0. When my hand is at 1, it is 5. When my hand is at 2, it is 10. So similarly, when my hand is at 11, it is 55. So it's an AP. So for this case, I will write separately. If x is 12, y will be 0. Otherwise, I can simply use the nth term of an AP formula, where 5 is the start element, x is the hour, 5 is the common difference, the gap between 5, 10, 10, 15, and so on. So hour to minute becomes, and the next part is minute by 60. Minute by 60 of 5 is basically, when my hour is x, my next hour will be x plus 1, and the gap between these two hours in minute is always 5. Be it 4 and 5, it is 25 minus 20. If it is 6 and 5, it is 30 minus 25. If it's 7 and 6, it's 35 minus 30. It's always 5. So that is why I directly wrote 5. Of this 5, what fraction has my hour clock traveled from y, where y is the minute version of the exact hour? So let's move, and also we will subtract, then wait, once we have hour to minute, We also have minute, so we can find the gap between hour to minute and minute. I will take their absolute gap and I will multiply it with 90 by 15, because 1 minute gap represents 90 by 15 degrees. So HR to min minus min hour to minute minus minute will represent this much of degrees. And I will do one more thing. If I call this t, I will take minimum of 360 minus t and t. That would be my answer. So it was simple. It was just, first thing is we have to think in terms of minute or hour. We cannot think in terms of hour and minute or minute and hour. So we converted everything in minute, and we found that 90 degrees is represented by 15-minute gap. So 1 minute gap is represented by 90 by 15 degrees. Now how we converted our hour to minute? We basically took the minute version of the exact hour number. Like for 4 it's 20. For that we use this y logic, this AP logic, and then we added how much of this 5 gap has my minute hand traveled. Based on that, my hour hand will also move. So if it's 30, then it has traveled 50%. So 30 by 60 of 5 plus 20 will be my position of hour hand in minute format for hour 4 and minute 30. And then we find the gap between these two minute quantities. Now this hour is in minute format. Basically this represents where my hour hand points in minute format. It could be a it don't needs to be exactly at 4. It can be in between this 20 21 as well. It could be 21, it could be 20, it could be 20.5 as well. And I have my minute as well. Minute will be given in question only. Their gap, their absolute difference into 90 by 60 will be the t, and another one will be 360 minus t. Now whichever one is minimum, we will take that. Let's look at the code next. So let's look at this code. We will be given integer hour, integer minute. We need to return the double angle. Double is the data type. So as we already discussed that 1 minute gap will have 90 by 15 degrees. So I stored that into mul variable. It is a multiplier, so I named it like that. Then y will be the exact minute version of the hour hand. Meaning if my hour is at 2, I need to set y as 10. If my hour hand is 7, I need to set my my y as 35. So for that I already discussed, when hour is 12 it will be 0. If it is not 12, we will solve it using an AP. And then hour to min, this is the exact conversion, like in at what minute will be my hour hand pointing to. So for that I basically divided the minutes by 60, so it gives how much my hour hand should move, what fraction should it move. If my minute hand is at 30, then it means my hour hand must have moved 50% of the gap between the hour and hour plus 1 mark. And we multiply it with 5 because the gap is of 5 distance, because we are dealing with minutes. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 15 minus 10 is 5. All adjacent gaps are 5 minutes, so we have that. Then we add it with the y, because y represents the in starting position of the hour hand, and how much it has moved will be given by this fraction multiplication, and we add it. So we have the exact point of the hour hand which it will point in minute. So we take the difference. So this much gap will have into multiplier degrees, because 1 minute gap has mul degrees. So absolute of HR to min minus minute gap will represent this much t amount of degrees. Now this t could also be the larger angle, So we need to take the smaller one, so we will do 360 minus t and we will take the minimum one. Let's submit it. It's already solved, so it should be accepted. Yeah, thanks for watching.